Hey folks, welcome back to Tech and More Tech. I'm Carlo, and this is the Nest Audio. As always, if you prefer a more detailed written review, head on over to techandmoretech.com or check the link in the description just below that like button. The Nest Audio is replacing the Google Home, which came out 4 years ago, and was Google's first entrant into the smart home world. It's honestly been a long time coming. 4 years in the tech world is basically an eternity, and just for reference, Amazon's Echo are on their 4th generation. The Nest Audio is completely new and follows a similar design language to the rest of the Nest lineup, which is to say, it's covered in a soft mesh fabric, which is 70% recycled, and it's designed to sort of blend in with the rest of your home decor. It's roughly 7 inches tall and 5 inches wide and kind of looks like a giant chiclet of gum, or a small pillow, your choice. It comes in 5 different colors: chalk, charcoal, sage, sand, or sky. The design is about as simple as it gets. It's got a single barrel port in the back for power, and it has a single toggle as well to turn your microphones on or off. On the front, you have 3 hidden capacitive buttons. On the top left, you've got the volume up, top right, volume down, and in the middle, you've got play or pause. There are also the 4 customary Google Assistant LEDs that are hidden in the middle that show up when you change the volume, invoke Google Assistant, or they'll stay on and orange if you toggle the microphone off. The Nest Audio has gained a microphone totaling 3 far-field microphones in order to hear you better and from a further distance. In my testing, I found that it could hear what I was saying from close-up and from afar in the full range of volume. If you're playing music loudly, you'll find yourself raising your voice in order to invoke Google Assistant, but that's also partly so that you can kind of hear yourself speak as well. The one thing I noticed that if you are playing music loudly is that Google Assistant had trouble identifying my voice profile. So if you've got multiple members of the household that use Google Assistant, when the volume is loud, it won't be able to distinguish your specific voice, so customized responses just won't happen. So if you ask it, hey, what's on my calendar, but I can't figure out who you are, it'll just not give you an answer and tell you it's having trouble to try again. I only found this to be the case when the volume was about 65 or 70% and above. Anything under that, and it found it was able to recognize my voice, no problem. The inside hardware has changed just as much as the outside. The all-new enclosure is now made of recycled aluminum and magnesium, and it has a 3-inch 75mm woofer paired with a 19-inch tweeter. This is a big step up from the single 50mm driver that was in the Google Home. It's also designed to be directional, so you're not supposed to put it in the middle of the room and have 360-degree audio everywhere. Instead, you put it on a bookshelf, you aim it towards the room, and you let it play. If you happen to have a very large room, or maybe like an oddly shaped room, you can get 2 of them and pair them into stereo mode and kind of put them on different sides. So how does it sound? Considering the price and the size, it sounds pretty fantastic. Music is clear throughout the entire volume range. You'll find that with cheaper speakers, once you get to about 75% or higher volume, everything kind of starts to muddle together. That's not the case with the Nest Audio. Mids and highs are definitely clear, and it's got a punchy bass to boost throughout the entire volume range. A single Nest Audio can serve really well as an ambient music machine while you're working from home. And then you can turn it up when you eventually are able to host a party and have friends and family over. It also works great for podcasts and audiobooks. There's a new feature called Ambient IQ, which uses the microphones to listen to any sort of background noise that's happening. So for example, if you're listening to a book and your neighbor decides to turn on their leaf blower, it will then automatically raise the volume so you can keep listening, and then it'll lower it back down once the background noise stops. So how smart is this smart speaker? Well, Google Assistant is smart as ever. It can do all the same things as before, like set reminders, set timers, check your calendar, add events, give you directions, etc., etc. I also noticed that it was much quicker when it came to controlling my smart home devices. Previously, it was definitely the slowest out of the big 3, Siri, Alex, and Google Assistant, but now I found it to be on par, and they're all about equally fast. One disappointing omission was any sort of smart home hub capabilities. The Echo devices have Zigbee built in, the HomePod Mini is going to have Thread, and the Nest Audio has nothing. In fact, none of the Nest lineup have anything besides Bluetooth. Now, for a lot of people, this means nothing. But what it does mean is that Amazon and Apple are going to have a big leg up when it comes to promoting the ease of use and setup of smart home devices. With both Amazon and Apple, you're going to be able to just, have a 1 or 2 step process to get a smart home device up and running, versus with Google, it's always going to be a 3 or 4 step process. Perhaps they're waiting for their alliance in the connected home over IP, CHOIP, to finalize a protocol so they can go all in on that. But that's at least a year away. So all of this brings us to the golden question: should you buy the Nest Audio? As always, let's start with the price. It's $99, which means it is exactly the same price as the upcoming HomePod Mini and as the Echo. If you're unsure about which 3 to get, well, the other 2 aren't out as of when I'm making this video, so be sure to subscribe to make sure that you are notified when I compare all 3 in a couple of weeks. If you're already invested in the Nest ecosystem or you are an Android user, then the Nest Audio is a really easy recommendation. It's a great sounding speaker and it will perfectly integrate with the rest of your digital life. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for plenty more videos to come. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I will get to them as best I can. And until next time, see ya.